Hello friends, it's Pixie. Welcome back to my place. I'm so happy to have you. First of all, let's get the elephant out of the room. Pride Month is over and I did not do any book-related LGBT content. And I feel kind of like a shitty bisexual for that, but I just did not have the extra energy. So that's why that happened. I did, however, continue to be an organized Marxist, which is how we will eventually get rid of the root cause of all oppression, which is class society. So I'm doing okay, really, but it would have been fun to talk about some queer books, but I can do that anytime, and I feel like I do throughout the year anyway, so it's cool. Now, this video concept is inspired by a video I found a while ago now when I was looking at junk journaling and how to make your own junk journal, because I found this one person who had something they called a poetry journal, and they had like glued in poems and drawn and collaged around them and talked about why they liked the poems and stuff like that. And I just thought that was really nice and cool. So this is sort of my take on that concept. I will see if I can find the video and link it below. And I will also put a link to articles and podcasts about the link between class society and LGBT oppression. If you are interested in learning more about our perspective on that. That's not what this video is about, so I'm not going to go in depth about it here, but I want you to have the resources available if you're interested. And if you read it and have questions, you can ask them. So anyway, I chose to do this with Sappho, partly because it was Pride Month when I filmed this footage, and partly because I think fragments are really useful for continuing the creative journey, because they leave a lot of room for you to fill in the gaps, and that's just really inspiring to me, and I think that's part of what makes these fragments so poetic, apart from, Sappho being a great poet. Actually, I remember a Tumblr post I saw once, and I've googled to find it again, but I haven't been able to. But it was someone who said that if you just pluck out some words and fragment it, anything will sound poetic. And they had done it to the song All Star by Smash Mouth, which you may recognize from Shrek. And I thought that was really funny, and I wanted to share it with you, but I couldn't find it, so I'm sorry. I have some of the fragments marked with a post-it note, and one of those ones that I connected extra much to, that I especially connected to, there we go, I know English, is the one that I primarily based this spread on. And it starts with, "I simply want to be dead. Weeping, she left me." And it's just so raw and emotional. And I think I especially appreciate that these days, when irony and distancing and sarcasm are sort of the prevailing mood, as far as I can see. I mean, I see a lot of genuine people too, but I don't know, I see a lot of irony and sarcasm, and I like to use that too sometimes, but it can get to be too much when you spend too much time on Twitter, which I am definitely guilty of doing some days. I'm trying to get better at that, because it doesn't always contribute a lot to a good mood or anything useful. I also wanted to say something about collaging and fragmented poetry, because I'm gonna do collage stuff when I do this with other poems or poets too, But I think it's especially fitting for the fragmented poetry because, I mean, a collage is fragments made into a whole. And that's sort of this book of translated fragments. It's bits and pieces that come together to form a whole, and they sort of increase or gain in meaning through virtue of being put together side by side. And I just think that that's neat. By the way, I did this in my regular sketchbook, so I don't have a dedicated poetry journal yet. I do want to start a reading journal at some point, but I'm trying to decrease the number of sketchbooks I have going at the same time before I start a new one that's dedicated to a specific purpose. So that's what's up with that. And I think that was all that I had to say about this, really. It was a bit shorter than usual. I usually have a lot more to say. But I'm going to close out by reading the full fragment that I mainly based this page on. But before I do that, thank you for coming to hang out. And extra thank you to my patrons, as usual. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. I also want to remind you to take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. So this is fragment number 94 in If Not Winter, translated by Anne Carson. I simply want to be dead. Weeping she left me, with many tears, and said this: "Oh, how badly things have turned out for us. Sappho, I swear, against my will I leave you." And I answered her, "Rejoice, go and remember me, for you know how we cherished you. But if not, I want to remind you. And beautiful times we had. For many crowns of violets and roses at my side you put on, and many woven garlands made of flowers around your soft throat. And with sweet oil costly you anointed yourself, and on a soft bed, delicate, you would let loose your longing, and neither any nor any holy place, nor was there from which we were absent. No grove, no dance, no sound.